Welcome back to BR Football's breakdown of every Easter egg and reference in the Champions Season 7. Time for Episode 3.
The GOAT rivalry is getting a reboot.
What happens when two superstars and a bunch of other players live together in one big bougie crib? Players stop fussing and start bussin'. This is the Champions Next Gen.
I may look adorable and sweet on the outside, but on the inside, I'm humble and modest.
Here's the thing about me. I'm good, but I'm not Cancer Olive Milan's other problems good.
What was the worst part about my first season at Chelsea? Waking up every day knowing I signed an 8-year contract.
Pedri and Gavi are the future of Barcelona.
I can see you two.
Whoopsie. Tee-hee. I can be your champion.
So we start with a rebooted intro to mimic Kylian Mbappe's master plan for this new world. Things are just a little grittier this time around, with some fresh language. And did you notice that it's Mbappe himself doing the voiceover? Then we get some taglines from exclusively young stars. Bukayo Saka proves he really is one of the nicest guys in football. Rafa Leão is good, but not come back from injury and drag Milan to the Champions League final good. Maybe next year, Rafa. And Mihailo Mudryk just regrets signing a huge 8-year contract with Chelsea, which is a tactic they've used under Todd Boehly to get around FFP restraints. Oh, and we all know Pedri and Gavi are the future of Barca, even though they're just 20 and 18 years old. For the title shot, you can see that only the brightest young talents in the game are featured. Vinicius Jr., Phil Foden, Gavi, Saka, Haaland, Mbappe, Jamal Musiala, Jude Bellingham, fresh off his move to Real Madrid, and Rafa Leão. Mikel Arteta is one of the most hyped young coaches in the game at just 41 years old, after leading Arsenal's resurgence with some Guardiola-esque tactics in the last couple of years. And Julian Nagelsmann has long since been the poster boy for young coaches. He's still only 35, and he got his first head coaching job at Hoffenheim at just 28. He's carrying a hoverboard as a reference to his love of skateboarding, as he was often seen skating around Bayern's training campus during his time there. And apparently, it was one of the reasons why Bayern fired him earlier this season. Damn.
All I ever wanted was to score a humanly impossible amount of goals. But what they don't tell you about football when you're starting off your professional career at age 5 is that there would be so much drama.
So Erling Haaland has received a mysterious note to meet in the Garden of Treason. And continuing the Champions tradition of statues that reference iconic football stories, here we see 3 examples of, well, treason, I guess. First, we have Luis Figo in front of a pig's head, referencing the crazy story from the early 2000s. Figo was Barcelona's brightest star at the turn of the century, spending 5 years at the club and earning the adoration of fans. But then came Florentino Perez, who launched an astonishing move to poach Figo from their classical rivals and kickstart the first Galactico era. Barca fans felt so betrayed by the Portugal midfielder that one even threw a pig's head at him while taking a corner at the Nou Camp in 2002. Wild. Next, we see a reference to one of the greatest days of all time on Twitter, when Wayne Rooney's wife Colleen revealed her scheme to unveil Jamie Vardy's wife, Rebecca, as the person who had been selling tales from Rooney's private Instagram stories to the press. The meme Wagatha Christie was born. It even went to trial in the UK, and there's going to be a TV show about it. That's treason, all right. We also get a reference to Declan Rice, who played for the Republic of Ireland throughout various age groups thanks to his Irish grandparents. Rice was named Ireland's U17 Player of the Year in 2017 and made his debut for the senior team a year later. He won 3 caps for Ireland, all in friendlies, before switching his allegiance to England in 2019. And finally, we get a peek into Erling Haaland's simple, goal-scoring mind. And he really did start as a professional aged 5. Wow.
You came. Look at the old man. I used to love watching him versus Ronaldo in La Liga, scoring goals for fun. But now that Ronaldo's gone, he's gone soft.
I can hear you guys plotting to replace me. I don't care. Have fun with your gritty reboot.
Mbappe reveals the inspiration for his master plan. Since Ronaldo left La Liga and so left direct competition with Messi, their rivalry went a bit soft, and especially now since they've both left European football. Realistically, after 15 years of dominance, the GOATs were always going to decline in numbers, and something tells me Leo Messi isn't too bothered about anything at all now that he has his hands on a World Cup.
Makes you wonder, would either of them have been so great on their own?
Pep says I'm not allowed to wonder.
Shh, my sweet Nordic Nine. Their rivalry made them stronger, just like ours could make us stronger.
But we're not rivals. At least not until PSG do better in the Champions League.
Yes, we are, Erling. I just need you to start acting like it. Beef with me, shitpost online. With the pressure we put on each other, think of all the goals we could score.
Haaland saying that Pep doesn't let him wonder is a reference to Guardiola's incredibly strict and detailed managerial style. There's no time for imagination when you need to get in the box and finish off chances. We see a quick reference to Haaland being much taller than Mbappé by the fact that the 5'10 Frenchman needs a stool to reach the 6'4 Nordic 9. Haaland then makes a pretty damning reference to PSG's continued failures in the Champions League, made even more obvious by the fact that City broke their Champions League curse in 2023. But it's no surprise that Haaland's attention is caught when Mbappé mentions goals.
Aha! Step away from the Norwegian goal machine, Mbappé. You were behind everything, pretending you were Ronaldo to lure us away from the Champions League and make yourself the star. And yeah, maybe I got more rich in the process, but you betrayed my trust. Again! And I've got it all on tape! Ah shit, wrong one. Voila!
Enter Benzema, popping out of a giant top hat as a reference to some of his clutch hat tricks in recent years, most notably against PSG and Chelsea in the knockout round, on the way to Real Madrid's Champions League title in 2022. He references his huge salary in Saudi Arabia, but says Mbappé betrayed his trust again, which points out the fact Mbappé basically told the whole world he was going to join Real Madrid in 2022 before doing a U-turn and signing a new contract with PSG, which led Benzema comparing him to the killing of Tupac? Anyway, we seem to be going through the whole same circus this summer too, so Mbappé didn't learn much. Next, Benzema pulls out a tape marked Valbuena blackmail, a not so subtle reference to Karim Benzema's involvement in a blackmail trial against former France teammate Mathieu Valbuena, which was the main reason Benzema spent most of the 2010s outside of the France squad. It's a very messy situation.
Fine, I admit it. But I had to get rid of those old losers so that we could shine. I can't be the greatest without you.
See? He's using you, Erling. Look how the Messi-Ronaldo story turned out for Cristiano.
Hey, how about you treat this like the France squad and stay out of it?
I don't want any trouble here. I'm just gonna stick to tap-ins.
We get another explanation of Mbappe's plan to get rid of all the old stars in Europe so he can shine, a reference to Messi and Neymar potentially stealing his limelight at PSG. Benzema pops up again with his phone in his hand, filming the whole thing, another reference to his penchant for taping things for blackmail purposes. He warns Haaland about ending up like Ronaldo, which, although Ronaldo won countless trophies and holds countless records, is a reference to how Messi's World Cup win pretty much ended the debate between the two of them, made even more apparent by the way Ronaldo was the first to jump ship from European football to the Saudi Pro League. Mbappé again notes Benzema's absence from the French squad, referencing how the former Madrid striker retired from international football at the end of the World Cup, after falling out with coach Didier Deschamps over whether he was too injured to appear at the tournament. And finally, Haaland saying he'll stick to tap-ins references how even though he scores a crazy amount of goals, a lot of them do seem to be simple finishes and tap-ins. Hey, you can't put a price on that striker's instinct.
Well then, if you won't be my rival, I will make you my enemy.
Mbappé pulls out a football bazooka in PSG colors and chases Haaland into the mansion. They enter the Man City room, and Mbappé starts whistling the French national anthem. In the back, we can see a picture referencing Sergio Aguero's iconic Premier League winning goal for Man City in 2012. And then we enter a room full of Erling Haaland's hat-trick balls, as it's tradition that a player who scores a hat-trick takes the match ball home with them. Unsurprisingly, Haaland has a lot.
You know, you could always join me in Legon, perhaps alone to Lyon.
Never!
You never lose in Toulouse.
They lose all the time!
Well, how do you feel about Lille? You could get a nice payday in Marseille.
Do goals even count if you score for those clubs?
Come out, Erling. It's not like you to go hiding.
Why are you doing this? You know you'll never score as many goals as I do.
And Norway will never challenge for the World Cup. You will never be a true GOAT. You're just a goal scorer.
Yeah, we were right. He has a lot of hat-trick balls. We see balls from all different competitions, referencing the Premier League, Bundesliga, and of course, the Champions League, where Haaland's scoring record is just insane. Mbappé tries to tempt him to join various teams in the French league, to which Haaland says, "Do goals even count if you score for those teams?" Referencing how do you put this nicely? League goals in Ligue 1 don't quite stack up in importance for most football fans compared to the Premier League or La Liga. Mbappé says it's not like Haaland to go hiding, referencing how he rarely hides on the pitch. Even if he's not always involved in the game, it's always pretty likely he's gonna score. Haaland bites back, referencing his superior goal-scoring record compared to Mbappé, but Mbappé drops the big one. As a Norwegian, it's highly unlikely Haaland will ever get a shot at winning a World Cup, like Mbappé. Instead of a GOAT, he's just a goal scorer. Damn.
That's a shirt sleeve too far.
Haaland pops up with a football bazooka in Man City's sky blue colors. Him saying, "That's a shirt sleeve too far," is referencing how nowadays, with VAR, players are being called offside and goals are being ruled out by the finest of margins, including the infamous shirt sleeve, which is a rule that seems to change every season. Looks like things are about to kick off.
Oi!
Oh no! It's Newcastle all over again!
Oh!
Yes! Fight me, Erling. Rivalry.
And kick off it does. Haaland and Mbappé trash the iconic Champions chandelier, seen in the intro of almost every episode. They interrupt Jack Grealish's Chinese meal from the starting 11 cafe, referencing how Grealish revealed he orders a mountain of Chinese food after every game for Man City.
Yeah, I love Chinese, man. After every game I get one. But yeah, I usually get a takeaway, Singapore chow mein, egg fried rice, salt and pepper chips, salt and pepper prawns, and then curry sauce. And then just like mix it all in, and just have a big free-for-all in.
The name Starting 11 Cafe and the smiley face refers to Grealish's emergence as one of City's most important players in their treble-winning season, after he struggled to break into their preferred lineup as much in his debut campaign. The chaos also destroys the infamous unicorn, made famous by Bukayo Saka, and also visible in the Champions Season 6. And Grealish is joined by England teammate Phil Foden to mourn their great loss. What will Bukayo Saka think when Arsenal finally arrive at the mansion? Harry Kane struggles to defend an empty Tottenham trophy cabinet and says, "Oh no, it's Newcastle all over again," referencing that game last season where Newcastle put 5 goals past Spurs in the opening 21 minutes. The chaos opens a door labeled surplus Chelsea players for sale, and out fall Kai Havertz, who's gone to Arsenal, Aubameyang, who is very likely to leave this summer, Hakim Ziyech, who Chelsea tried to offload to PSG in January and then Saudi Arabia this summer, and his transfers keep falling through, and Raheem Sterling and Mykhailo Mudryk, who have failed to impress. We also see a glimpse of a portrait of Chelsea legends Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and John Terry celebrating their Champions League win in 2012. The whole thing spooks Sadio Mane, who punches Leroy Sané, in a recreation of their dressing room bust-up after Bayern's defeat to Man City in this season's Champions League. Ouch. Finally, we get a quick reference to Erling Haaland's taunting tactics, which he used against Everton defender Ben Godfrey this season. It's just what Mbappé wanted. How will this possibly end?
Not to worry, lads. Super Frank can fix this. Or not.
Well, I guess it won't be Frank Lampard who cleans up the mess. This is one last reference to Lampard's disastrous return to Chelsea in 2023. After being fired for poor results in 2021, he made a return last season. That's after being sacked by Everton for leaving them in the relegation zone mind, and proceeded to lose all of his first 6 games in charge. The worst ever start by a Chelsea manager.
Hey, are you enjoying the Champions Next Gen? Then you're gonna love the Champions Florida Edition! Whoa!
Now I let my soccer do the talking.
And finally, we get a little promo of what's in store for Leo Messi. Using the same backdrop from Season 2, Episode 1, where we first promoted MLS as the OG Retirement League.
Are you an aging football star in Europe? Come join MLS, where you can score 3 goals a game, make hundreds of millions of dollars, and you won't get bothered on the streets because no one will recognize you. Note, the US dollar may be worth less than euros and pounds. In MLS, you may be forced to play defense and take commercial flights. Also, everyone has guns.
Come on over. It's actually more challenging than you think, believe me.
We see a trailer for another potential champion spin-off in Florida. Even Messi is getting used to the new language on this side of the pond.